Happy Monday, everyone. How are you? Now, you might remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you the show came to you truly hot off the press. Today was a very similar occurrence. Oh yes, I've been running around, scrabbling around to make sure everything's in place. Even now, I'm just checking the room to make sure there's not junk lying around everywhere. But anyway, hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is good. The world is extremely mad right now. Oh my days. So, yet again, another 40 minutes of escape from the craziness we inhabit at the moment. It's the show before Christmas. Are we prepared? I know I'm not, but there you go. Anyway, my very special guest today is Kevin Robinson. He is fabulous, a musician, great trumpet player, arranger, MD, all-round guy. We had a very, 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 very long conversation that today I've been struggling just to edit down because otherwise we'd be here all night otherwise. So in our first section of our chat, we spoke about a lot of things, and it was almost like, for me, it was almost like a free therapy session. Kevin provided a lot of really sage advice. Check it out. So everybody, today I have with me the amazing Kevin Robinson, trumpet player, arranger, MD, all-round good egg. Kevin, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, thank you, my friend. Great.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you doing this. Really appreciate you doing this.
No problem. It gives me something to do of a morning.
Right, and I thought this is going to be amazing because you're one of the funniest people I know. You are indeed.
Yeah, well, you just made me laugh.
Yeah. There you go. Right, so
what can I do for you today?
So your CV is very, very impressive. It's very impressive. You worked with a whole host of folks. Long time protagonist with Simply Red.
Mm-hmm. Yes. 18 years now.
Yeah, we got Tom Jones, you got Paul McCartney, you got Bacharach, you got Steve Winwood, Ray Charles, George Benson,
Ray Charles, yeah.
Courtney Pine, Incognito, Jazz Warriors, Pet Shop Boys, Shaka Khan, Maxi Priest. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. The wonderful Patrick Lahar kind of strong-armed you in to come and work on my first album. Now,
right, yeah.
I was seriously humbled, to have, Patrick, yourself, Fayaz, Virgie, and Chris Dorr. This is like a seriously heavyweight horn section. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, what was fortunate for me was I don't think you'd all seen each other for a while. So for you, it was kind of a hang. So it was kind of a nice hang, and then I just happened to be, sat in the other room while you guys kind of caught up, So you were in a good mood because you were going to catch it up.
Yeah.
But I was actually, I remember I'd written those arrangements for that first session. I think I'd stayed, my vibe. I missed the last minute because I can't make a decision.
Yeah.
So I'd sat up. I'd been up most of the night writing those brass arrangements. It's probably an hour before you're going to arrive. I'm printing them out. I'm taping them together, and I'm thinking, these guys are going to think this is rubbish, man. These guys are, I was really worried about it. And it was a relief that you kind of came in, you were into it, and And I remember the end of the first session, I thought, that's it. I've got 2 tunes. I'm happy. I've got 2 tunes with these guys. It will never happen again. And you walk in, you have a listen, you go, right, when's the next one, Andrew? When we do another one? It was such a buzz.
It was good stuff. It was good stuff to play,
Man, for you, for all of you, because obviously Fires on arrangers as well, and you're heavyweight. You guys are the heavyweight dudes when it comes to arrangements and sections. So you've written countless times, right, for large orchestras, smaller groups. Have you ever had a time where you've been sat in front of a massive ensemble or small ensemble, unsure if the arrangement's going to work? Have you ever had that, or are you always like, right? You know it's down. You know, have you ever been intimidated by the reputation of an orchestra or the reputation of a set of players or anything like that?
You know, there's look, no matter what anyone says, there's always going to be a tiny little nagging little kind of voice in your head going, you can't do this, you're not going to like it. I mean, it's not exactly like that, but it's just a little kind of bit of what I call it, insecurity, or just a little bit of doubt as to how things are going to come across. But I think my mum always used to say to me when, you know, growing up as a kid, she used to quote things, you know, sometimes like some of our mums from the Bible and stuff like that. And she always used to say to me, look, to thine own self be true.
Wise woman.
Yeah, very wise. But the thing is, she used to say that, and also treat every woman like she's a queen, which has got me into countless trouble, but we won't get into that. And but that first one, you know, that's always been in the back of my head when I'm scoring something or arranging something, and I don't know what it's like with you, or that, but there's always this voice in your head. I call it the kind of like the cheese factor sort of switch. But there's always this voice in your head when you're writing something. I mean, now, you know, we've got the advantage of we can do things on MIDI and hear it back.
You can hear it,
yeah. But you can also hear the sound that the whatever you're writing for is going to make. If a line or a phrase does that to me a little bit, you know, it's a chin scratching moment,
right?
You know,
yeah,
like that. Then I will absolutely go and revisit it time and time again, and again and again, until it sits. It sits in my waters, you know. So by the time I deliver something, it's already well cooked in my head, in the whole biorhythms. I mean, I don't want to get too kind of spacey and airy fairy.
When I first, you know, I sort of first spawned the idea of doing that album, it was like after decades of working for other people and thinking it's time you make your own music, it's time for you to kind of just try and create something. I never thought that I was going to end up writing the arrangements myself. Even up to the you know, maybe a few weeks before thinking I want some brass and I want some strings, I want some stuff on this.
Yeah.
I was going to call folks, you know, I was going to call, I know people that are great at that, and I thought, and I had to force myself to do it. I had to force myself to say, if you can do it,
good thing too.
If you can do it, I think force yourself to do it, even if it doesn't work. At least you know you've had a go at it, and that's sort of been my attitude towards these two albums that I've done. It's ignoring the voice in my head that it's not going to be great. Oh, you can't write. Oh, you can't do this. And it's been the most satisfying to be sat here in this room, looking through the glass at you folks or a string quartet or something, playing back something, and it comes to life and it sounds amazing.
It's a real buzz, isn't it?
It's a massive buzz. That first day was the most amazing sensation. So what I'm going to do, we're going to play, right? I'm going to play a little clip of one of the sessions, or some bits of some of the sessions we did here.
The good bits.
That was so much fun. So yeah, I want the folks to check this out.
Right.
On the second quaver of beat 3 in 131. Yeah. Really exaggerate the fall on the last beat, just like make it really silly. Okay. Middle ground, maybe. Yeah. Oh yeah. Kevin was really encouraging, just generally, because he's really good at what he does. It's a bit of an inspiration. I'm a bit of a fan. You can tell I'm a bit of a fan. Let me say hi to some folks. I'm gonna start with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's in the house. My mother-in-law, right? She sent me a bit of rum cake yesterday. It was quite a sizable piece of rum cake, and I just couldn't resist. I eat the whole thing. I eat the whole thing in one sitting. There's only a cup of tea in between the first slice and the second slice, and it was all over. So I'm a little slow today, everybody. I'm just feeling a little heavier. You know what I'm saying? But thanks, Mum. It's so I can't resist. It's so tasty, so tasty. So say hi. Yeah, so mother-in-law's in the house. Mother-in-law's in the house. Paul Cooper, fantastic to see you, sir. I promise my album is nearly ready. I know you've been waiting. It's nearly here. I promise you. We've got Richie. We've got Michael Crook. Good to see you. Who else you got? Maxine. The regulars are here. Mrs. S is in the house. And I'm sure the smallest small is in the house as well. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. Very cool. Right. Next bit of our chat, right? Kevin has got Kevin's got a real sense of humour. So in this bit of our conversation, we spoke about the fact he's a joker, firstly, and secondly, how he brings those positive vibes to the sessions he works on. General work situations. Just check this out. Here we go. I don't know why, Kevin, right? You're always a joker. Sometimes I'm trying to be serious, right? And on those sessions, you just had me in stitches consistently in stitches.
Listen, it's a very, very happy place that for me when I'm, in the studio with the lads playing some banging horn arrangements, and especially, when you're amongst friends and people that you've known for years and worked with for years, and so you just feel relaxed and you can just be yourself. I mean, I'm not like that all the time in every single session. I might end up like that, but and so, sometimes I can't help myself, but things come through.
You're always like that, Kevin. I'm sorry. You're always like that. I can't remember a time, because obviously since then we've worked together a lot more, and you're always like that. I mean, a quick question for you, right? Quick question for you then, because what I am, it's a statement and a question. What blew me away about those sessions, was you guys threw yourself into the minutiae of the stuff I'd written.
You have to,
and I really appreciated that, because it was almost like things I instinctively will think, oh, why that phrase could be like this. You guys was straight away, even before I'd thought it, you'd jump in and go, right, let's little scoop here, let's get a nice fall there, let's get these notes, let's come off at the right time, let's really, the fact you know, it's jazz. I ain't got loads of money. You guys weren't getting paid top dollar. You weren't getting paid, right? It was a Kit Kat and a bag of crisps, right? So the fact you come in here and you're still prepared to put that level of detail in, it was seriously really, really appreciated, because you just brought the stuff to life.
Yeah, but what other way is there? To be honest, I mean, what other way is there? If you're gonna, this is what we're all musicians, and this is what we all do, is what we live for. So it's in our DNA. So when you're doing some serious stuff, even when you're not doing serious stuff, actually, music is music, and if it's going to go out there, it's got to go out there in the proper way. you can't go half cocked. And and all, I mean, Chris, I haven't done a lot as much stuff with as I have with the other two guys, with Pat and Fires. All that all that incog stuff, and going around the world a few times together, and countless hours in the studio. And every time we get into the studio and do an arrangement, either one of Fires's or one of mine, it's we all had the same kind of focus, the same way of thinking. We all listened to the same kind of music, and we had the same feeling for a phrase. For instance, it got to the point where some of the arrangements that I would do for the band, it would just go naturally. The phrases would just come naturally, and then we just spend time just finessing it. The cut-offs, the swells, the start points, and all stuff like that. So and that's the way we always work. Always.
It was really noticeable. It was really, really appreciated. Really appreciated.
Not at all. I mean, I appreciate all the Kit Kats and the Twixes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's how the track "Crisps and Chocolate" on my first album kind of got its name, just because I was bribing musicians with just confectionery and crisps. That was kind of the only way I could really compensate them for their talents, which is really sad, but there you go. So Kevin, Patrick Clahar on saxophone in that clip, and Fayaz on trombone. They were the horn section for Incognito for years and years and years. Seriously top draw musicians. So we then dived into one of the favourites, the Impossible Choice Quiz. I think this was funny from memory. Check it out. We're going in with the first one, which is always the Impossible Choice Quiz. And the idea is no hesitation. No hesitation, right?
No hesitation.
No hesitation. Right, here we go.
But I have to think about stuff.
You don't think about anything. This is cool.
Oh,
right?
God.
So here we go.
Okay.
Right, first thing. Right. Trumpet players. Freddie Hubbard or Roy Hargrove?
Freddie.
Okay.
For me.
Cool. Right, you can be in either of these two iconic horn sections.
Okay.
Right, Tower of Power or Earth, Wind and Fire?
Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay. Oh, I love the little... Yeah. It's a hard one, that, isn't it? That's a hard one.
Yeah, it is a hard one. But,
it's a hard one.
But the thing is, I discovered Earth, Wind and Fire before Tower of Power.
Fair enough,
and
okay.
that was, you always go back to your first love.
Okay. Right, arrangers, orchestrators, right?
Oh.
Henry Mancini or Vincent Mendoza?
Henry.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, Henry.
Very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, trumpet players again, right? Randy Brecker, Arturo Sandoval.
Arturo. Oh.
This is good. I'm really loving these reactions. This is good. I did my job well this time. Right? Okay. You get the opportunity, right, to write the arrangements, for a celebration of the music of either of these two artists. Which one would you pick? Bert Bacharach or Ray Charles?
Bert Bacharach.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love me a bit of Bach.
There's an album. I told you about this when you've been round, actually. I might have played some of it to you. There's an album with McCoy Tyner Trio,
right,
with orchestra playing
right.
Bacharach tunes.
Right.
It's the most amazing record.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard it, you've got to dig it. It's absolutely phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal.
But love Bert Bacharach stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, that was the first quiz. That was painless. That's
painless. A couple of but you know.
Okay, there'll be another one. There'll be another one in a little while. Right. Yeah, I got no idea why Kevin was all scared and nervous about that. I'm a pussycat. There's nothing to be worried about. Nothing to be worried about. Me, tricky questions? Never. Never, ever. There you go. Right, now, this next section, right, this next bit of the conversation, it's a really, really funny story. A really, really funny story about a recording session Kevin did that required like superhuman diplomatic skills. Seriously. And I was sort of also quizzing him because he's a really great MD. Got real MD skills. He's a real people person. I think you'd really enjoy this. Check this out. So I've had the pleasure of watching you work as an MD, right? And it's really interesting, right? You never ever appear flustered or annoyed, right? You're a real people person. I mean, you've obviously worked in a lot of high profile situations, and you've got a real skill dealing with whether it be musicians, be it artists, be it corporate clients. You've just got a real way of kind of charming people, but getting the job done.
What was that?
Cool. You know, you got this way of kind of personality obviously comes into things, but I imagine as I've watched you work, I imagine that your strategies are based on getting the creative element of what's happening done in the least stressful way and in a way that makes the whole thing work with a great vibe, with a great attitude. What kind of environments were you in that kind of thought, okay, if I ever come up against this again, I will deal with this way in order to make things work? Because we've been in some high pressure situations where things have to get done and things aren't running well, but the way you deal with it is always a very calm but very focused, very deliberate way.
Well, I remember the first time I mean, all of this had to come into play on this day. First day, I knew the guys in the section, the horn section. They've been working with the band for years already, and this time this was very much a kind of experiment for the boss. This big horn section thing going on.
Okay.
And so he was maybe a couple of hours late for the session. We had already started putting some ideas down that producer had thought of, laying down some long lines, and so we got word that the boss was 10 minutes away, and then 5 minutes away. He's in the building. He's coming up the stairs. It was that kind of
yeah.
Back then. So he came in. We hadn't met before. He knew all the other guys, and so he was introduced. He'd never seen me before. I don't know if he'd even heard of me before, but I didn't even audition for this gig. It was just a word of mouth thing. But he walked in the room and introduced, shook hands, stony face. And then, of course, the producer played what we'd written before, what we'd recorded already. Starts shouting. I think, okay, he's definitely stamped his authority on the day. So all that stuff. Get rid of any preconceived ideas of who he is or how he is and just take it on face value. From the control room comes, right, I want so okay, and so I say, beep. That's a beep because I don't want to mention his name. Could you just sing that again? Didn't quite get that. So, yeah, it's. And I asked him to sing it with the track, so he sings it with the track, and the track comes on. No 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, and of course, all the eyes are like, like that. So I'm thinking, right, okay, he wants a phrase there, and so again, I go in again because it was in a random place, and so and things are getting a bit flustered up there because we're not doing it immediately, right? Not much experience of working with the horn section. Do it immediately. Takes time, you know. So I ask him again, just sing it one more time, where exactly where you want it. So again. So I thought, okay, he wants a phrase there. It sounds like it's descending. There were no real kind of notes coming up, and it probably at that point there. So I just play this riff. I just play a riff to the word. Said, let's just play that. I said, right, clicks it. Where do we play it? There's no direction of actually where to play it.
Really?
So yeah. So again, where do you want this? I said. So eventually we play it there, but it's not right. You know, okay. There's a couple of weird notes going in there. So he said, "That's great. Let's move on." And I looked across and they were going, "No, don't say anything. Don't say anything." And I said, no, sod that. I don't care. I'm just going in. If I get booted out for insubordination, right. I don't care. And I said, Beep, could you just listen to that one more time? Make sure you're happy with that, because I'm sure that we could do it a bit better. I heard something, but I'm not quite sure. Could you just check? And so silence. They were listening to it and up in the studio there. And then he came back and said, yeah, you're right. Do it again. We did it again. It was fine. And then after that, there was, was that all right? Was that okay? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, there's always a route to talking with people and getting around a situation.
That's so funny. That's so funny. And I can imagine Kevin just in that moment, just being deadpan and being just really straight-laced, just really calm, very, very funny. I think I saw Cousin Jeff on the list at 1 minute. Mate, great to see you. Great to see you. Cool. Right. Folks, yeah, we're rattling through today, We've got to the Tour Life pop quiz. Again, Kevin, for some reason, I've got no idea why, was a little bit, anxious, a little bit nervous about doing this, but there's no reason for that. Here it is, the Tour Life pop quiz. It got a bit, it got a bit silly. It got a bit silly. Here we go. We're going into the last quiz. Now this is the Tour Life pop quiz, and it is always basically just a collection of completely bizarre, completely improbable scenarios that you have to navigate, right?
Okay.
So hopefully this works. Right, so here's the first thing, right?
Yes.
You've landed the gig to conduct the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra for a gala performance. It's going to be before the Queen, televised to a live worldwide audience, okay?
Okay.
You're on your way to the stage a minute before showtime, right? You turn the corner, you bump into a member of the catering staff. They spill a vat of carrot and coriander soup all over you. You're standing there in your tux by the side of the stage. You're looking a complete mess. You're about to go out, right?
Yeah.
They can't delay the live broadcast, right? So you've got to quickly swap clothes with with one of the stagehands that's standing there, right? The problem is one of them's wearing a shiny red shell suit. The other one is wearing cycling shorts and a high-vis vest, right? Which outfit do you choose to go on stage in, mate? Quickly.
Shell suit, and I'll put my jacket over the top. Because it's black, and that stuff wouldn't show up on it.
Right. Okay, right.
Oh, damn.
Right. So after the concert, right, the evening goes from bad to worse, right? So after the concert, you are tasked with presenting Her Majesty with a special ornate crystal sculpture. The plan is, she's in the front row, she comes up on stage in front of the audience, yeah? A steward wheels out an ornate box. You're supposed to reach inside, bring out the sculpture, hand it over to Her Majesty, right?
Okay, right.
So, the concert ends, you take a bow, the Queen walks up, the box is wheeled out, you lean over, you look inside, someone's messed up, right? There's no sculpture in there. Instead, there's a Subway sandwich and a KFC 3-piece chicken meal in the box. Which one do you hand over to Her Majesty?
Chicken! Who doesn't want to see the Queen eating chicken? Absolutely.
Oh, that's bizarre. That's bizarre. Yeah. Oh man. Right, okay. Here's the next one, right? Here's the next one. This is the last one. That's the last one. It's very. I told you these were silly, right? So for a year or so, you've been working on cementing a long-term business relationship with one of the industry's most powerful managers, right?
Okay.
Finally, she gets in touch to say she quickly needs you to find an artist up to now undiscovered that she's going to mold into the next megastar, right? But time is of the essence. She's set up a 10-minute meeting that very afternoon. You've got to come up with somebody. You've got to walk in her office, because if she likes what you bring to her, right?
Right.
You get a massive piece of the pie. You get production, you get writing, you get royalties. You get the lot. It's life-changing, right? Your other half overhears this conversation on the phone and insists that you put her little brother Rocco up for the gig. You never heard Rocco sing, right?
Never.
But you think, you know what? I've got to do something. You agree to meet Rocco in Starbucks just around the corner, right? From the manager's offices, right? Rocco turns up.
Yeah.
Rocco looks cool. You say, you know what, Rocco, look, give me a burst. What are you going to sing? Rocco starts singing. Rocco's terrible. He's absolutely dreadful. You're thinking, oh man, I can't mess this up. You try to give him a quick pep talk, but he gets upset. He goes off to the loo, right? There's a sheepish girl on the table next door, yeah? She's overheard this exchange, right? She says, you know what, I've really been trying to break into the music industry. I can sing, I'm really good. You think, oh, well. She pulls out a guitar, starts singing. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing, right?
Yeah.
Rocco's been gone a while.
Yeah.
The 10-minute meeting, the meeting's about to start. Rocco's been gone a while. You go to find Rocco. Rocco is locked in the loo.
Yeah.
He's locked in the loo. It's broken the handle off inside. The manager's there. They can't get him out for another hour. What do? Do you wait for Rocco? Or do you take Renee into the meeting?
Renee. I take Renee, man. I absolutely take Renee and then deal with the fallout afterwards. There's absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
Wonderful. You survived. You've survived the tour life pop nonsense that I come up with. That's cool. Cool. Kev, we are done. It's been amazing chatting with you, man. Been really, really cool. Been really, really cool.
You too, man.
Thanks
you too.
so much for doing this. And man, I just can't wait for COVID to disappear.
Oh, God.
Let's start. Hopefully we can make some music before too long.
Absolutely.
Thanks again, man. Thanks very much.
Pleasure, my friend. Take care.
Cool. It was great chatting with Kevin. It was great. It was so cool chatting with Kevin. If you guys could have heard the 90 minutes, the 90 minutes of pure nonsense we were just chatting about for ages. It was very, very happening. Cousin, what do you mean the dark side? What do you mean the dark side, cuz? Me? A dark side? Never. Anyway, that's the show for today. So thanks everybody, thanks everyone. It's going to be Christmas next week. So I'm saying Merry Christmas. I will be here next week, the Monday after Christmas. No doubt quite a bit heavier if any more rum cake comes my way from my mother-in-law. No doubt I'll be very much heavier. But hope to see you there. Have a great Christmas. You can, as per usual, you can visit my website. Please do. It's andrewsmall.net. Okay? A few bits and bobs on there, and there'll be a few more bits and bobs going up as we speak. I'm doing some tweaks to my website at the moment, right? My album, What Happens Now, my last album, is available from all the usual platforms where you get your music. Please grab a copy if you haven't done so already. My social media handle is Andrew Small Drums. That's Facebook and Instagram. And the show will be available to be viewed again in its entirety on YouTube from later on this evening. Please do subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you do that. So, that is it. We are done. Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful week, and let's all just try our best to keep sane in the madness that's currently going on around us. Okay? Keep safe, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.